Diary of a Wimpy Kid Hard Luck by Jeff Kinney, Part 3. Friday. I hate to say it, but Mom's prediction about me and Rowley is starting to come true. Ever since Abigail and Rowley got together, Abigail has been sitting at our lunch table, which is all boys. I already mentioned how she's not a fan of the chocolate milk bubble blowing thing, but there's a lot of other stuff she doesn't like either. One of them is the 5-second rule. All the guys at our table agree that if you drop a piece of food on the floor, as long as you pick it up within 5 seconds, it's still okay to eat. Oops, 5-second rule. A new twist someone came up with recently is that you can grab a piece of food off the floor even if you're not the one who actually dropped it. I've lost 2 chocolate chip cookies and a fudge sickle that way already. 5-second rule. This new rule has caused some other problems, though. Yesterday, Freddie Harlahan ate a piece of ham off the floor because he thought Carl Dumas dropped it, but it was already there from the group that had lunch before us. It might have even been there from before that, because Freddie started to feel sick and ended up in the nurse's office for the rest of the day. 5-second rule, chomp. Something tells me they don't have the 5-second rule at the table Abigail used to sit at, or probably any of the other girls' tables either. Another thing I'll bet they don't have is French Fry Fridays. They serve burgers in the cafeteria every Friday, but the meat is gray and tastes like a wet sponge. Plus, they serve sweet potato fries now instead of regular French fries. But Nolan Tiago's mom works part-time in the library, and every Friday she brings Nolan a cheeseburger and fries from the fast food place on the corner. Nolan eats his fries, but he always lets the rest of us have whatever falls out into the bag. And I've seen kids practically come to blows over a few cold French fries. We decided the only way to prevent someone from getting hurt was to split the fries up evenly. So we brought in Alex Aruda to divvy them and give everyone an equal number. The rest of us keep an eye on Alex to make sure he's not taking any extra for himself. Some kids eat all their fries at once, but I nibble mine real slow to make them last as long as possible. But no matter how many fries we get, it's never enough. Today, there were only 3 fries in the bag, and we had to split them 10 ways. So you had a couple of kids paying Nolan a dime each just to smell the fries on his breath. And I think that's what made Abigail finally decide to look for another place to sit. Sniff, sniff. When Abigail moved to a different table, she took Rowley with her. But that's fine with me because it means more French fries for the rest of us. Abigail and Rowley moved to the couples table, which is the only place in the whole cafeteria where there's still room to sit. After the Valentine's Day dance, almost all the couples in our grade broke up, so Rowley and Abigail didn't have any trouble finding a spot. The reason the couples have a whole table all to themselves is because no one else can stand to be around them. Let me just say that you couldn't pay me to sit and watch Abigail feed Rowley his pudding every day. The second that Rowley and Abigail left our table, 2 guys slid right into their empty spots. There aren't enough seats in the cafeteria for all the kids in our lunch period, so there's actually a line to get one. If you didn't get a seat on the first day of school, you were out of luck. There are some kids who have been waiting since September, and they'll probably still be waiting for a seat on the last day of school. I feel pretty lucky I got a seat because the people who didn't get one have to find a place to sit anywhere they can. The kids in the middle of the line have pretty much given up hope that they're gonna get a seat. So some of them have started selling their spots to the kids behind them. I heard that Brady Connor sold his position at the number 15 spot to Glenn Harris, who was one spot back, for $5 and an ice cream sandwich. Unfortunately for me, the two kids in the front of the line were Earl Dremel and his twin brother Andy, and they took Abigail and Rowley's spots. Earl and Andy have physical education right before lunch, and those guys both fake their gym showers, just like I do. Even though I sit at the table with a bunch of guys, I wouldn't call any of them my actual friends, because when we head outside for recess, we all go our separate ways. I used to hang out with Rowley during recess, but those days are over. It's probably time for me to strike out on my own, but the problem is I don't know where I'm supposed to go. First of all, there are some kids I have to watch out for on the playground. A few years ago, Mom invited a bunch of my classmates to my birthday party, but she thought I already had enough toys, and she said so on the invitation. Usually when you open presents at your birthday party, all the other kids are jealous. But at my party, I think people just felt sorry for me. Unfortunately, Mom's idea caught on with a bunch of other moms in our neighborhood. And nowadays, I have to be careful whenever I see a kid walking around at recess carrying a new book. Thanks a lot, jerk. Shove. Then there's Leon Feast and his gang. I got into a situation with those guys a few summers ago, and there's been bad blood between us ever since. One day, me and Rowley went down to the school to ride our bikes on the basketball court, but Leon and his friends showed up a few minutes later. They told us that we were going to have to leave so they could play basketball. I told Leon he could make a compromise and they could have one half of the court and we could ride our bikes on the other, but they didn't like that idea and gave us the boot. On the ride home, I was really mad that we let ourselves get pushed around like that, and I wanted to do something about it. A few days later, Mom asked me out of the blue if I wanted her to sign me up for the Superhero Training Academy. She showed me the flyer, and I was sold. I couldn't wait to graduate from the Superhero Training Academy and show Leon and his gang a thing or two. Rowley's mom signed him up too, and we were both pretty excited about it. But on the first day, I realized it was a total scam. First of all, the Superhero Training Academy was in the gymnastics room at the YMCA and not some secret bunker underneath the building. Then I found out the whole superpower part was a joke. Good job, Jonathan. So me and Rowley were stuck in a day camp for a week while our moms ran errands. And at the end, we didn't even get masks or costumes or anything cool like that. We just got these stupid certificates. A few weeks later, we went down to the school on our bikes again, and sure enough, Leon and his friends were on the basketball courts. But I guess I should have given Rowley the heads up that his superhero training was totally worthless. Aside from the kids I need to avoid, like Leon, there are a few different groups that hang out together at recess, but I don't think I really fit in with any of them. There are some kids who play a fantasy card game and another group that just hangs out and reads. Then there's the group that plays on the field. A few months ago, the school banned any games that involve a ball because too many kids were getting hurt. So these guys made up a game where somebody's shoe is the ball. But don't even ask me what the point of the game is. Eric Glick hangs out with his sketchy friends behind the school where the teachers can't see them. I've heard that if you want to buy an old book report or homework assignment, he's the guy to talk to. The girls hang out in groups too. There's one that jumps rope near the side of the school and another that does hopscotch 50 feet away. I've heard the two groups don't get along, but I have no idea what that's all about. I'll tell you the group I wish I could join, and that's the girls who hang out near the cafeteria door and gossip about everyone who walks by. I've tried to slip into that group before, but it's pretty clear outsiders aren't welcome. Looks like Lori got a fancy new haircut, as if that makes up for her tacky earrings, as if. The only place where boys and girls hang out together is on the playground. Some of the kids have started playing girls chase boys, which was a big thing back in elementary school. I've tried to get in on the girls chase boys game over the years, but most of the girls are only interested in chasing the popular guys like Bryce Anderson. Is Bryce absent today or something? Yeah, but bet you can't catch me. Every so often during girls chase boys, somebody will yell out and flip the whole game. Boys chase girls. It goes back and forth like that until the bell rings and it's time to go inside. The only problem with that game is that they never say that what you're supposed to do when you actually catch someone. I remember the time in 5th grade when we were playing boys chase girls and I caught Kara punter fair and square. Kara reported me to the playground monitor, who made me sit against the wall for the rest of recess. I'm pretty sure the school called my parents too. I think the school realized there are some kids who have trouble joining in with the others at recess. So a few weeks ago, they turned the bully reporting station on the playground into a find a friend station. I always thought the find a friend station was a lame idea, but it's not like I have a lot of options these days. I don't know if people didn't notice the blue light going off or if everyone was just too busy playing girls chase boys, but no kids came over. I think Mr. Nern must have felt sorry for me because he walked over with a box of checkers. Would you like to be my friend? I guess it was better than nothing, but I hope Mr. Nern doesn't think this is going to be a regular thing. King me. See you in the next video.